Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today we will continue our A1 grammar session, and we have a new topic which is not the hardest, but it has some couple of tricky aspects. I'm talking about the Modalverben. So let's go. Modalverben means auxiliary verbs. Sometimes in German, we say Hilfsverben. Now, if you know a little bit of German already, which I'm sure you do, you kind of understand what Hilfsverben mean. Those are verbs helping out to express something. In a normal sentence, we have subject, verb, object, or another information. For example, Paul arbeitet am Sonntag. Paul works on Sunday. A typical sentence, easy to understand. But now we want to put a help verb here to make another statement. Robert muss auch am Sonntag arbeiten. So we have two verbs here. The sentence means Robert also must work on Sunday. The helping verb, you can picture it like fighting off the normal verb and takes position 2, and the normal verb, or the second verb actually to be more precise, has to go all the way back to the end of the sentence, because the verb on position 2 always reflects of the subject. It must be conjugated. For example, arbeitet, Paul arbeitet. And since the helping verb took its position, we also have to conjugate it into, in this case, he. Robert muss, ich muss, sie muss, wir müssen, and so on. The good part is that at the end of a sentence, the second verb is in infinitive. This is what makes this kind of grammar super easy. And I have many students who try to use it more than they should, because it's just easier to say the complicated verb at the end, putting it in infinitive. We check out the second example. Eva besucht die Tante. Eva visits the aunt. Again, subject, verb on position 2, and here we have an object. But now we want to say Julia also wants to visit the aunt. Again, our helping verb, in this case another one, we will talk about it in a second, finds its way to position 2, is conjugated by the subject or because of the subject and because of its position. And our normal verb must go to the end in infinitive. I think this makes sense, at least I hope it does. If you have questions about it or you want to give me examples, leave it in the comments below. Here you have a nice table of the different auxiliary verbs. We will talk about them, of course, and how to use them, how to use what when, but let's check it out first. We have können, dürfen, müssen, sollen, wollen, mögen, möchten. The last one is a little special because it can work as a helping verb, but it can also work as a full verb. I give you an example. Ich mag ihn. I like him. As you can see, we have the subject, the verb, and the object, and here the verb functions as a full verb. Möchte is a little different. If you are a child or you hear a child talk, of course they can say, Ich möchte Schokolade. I want chocolate. Yeah, this is totally legit. The grammar is okay. It sounds a little rude, but it's children language. But it also works with a noun. Ich möchte Schokolade, without having a second verb. This is my point here. But to be honest, it's just a short form in this case of Ich möchte Schokolade essen. I want to eat chocolate. So I just want to give you this kind of insight. You don't have to focus on it now, that mögen and möchten can also be with objects and nouns. Yeah, ich mag sushi. I like sushi. Don't let it confuse you. You will see definitely if there is a second verb involved in the sentence. And after some practice, your eye will immediately fall on the building of the sentence. Here we have another example on how to use this last two ones because they are the most, not complicated, but a bit challenging because of their variety. So you have here an example. Ich mag Erdbeeren. I like strawberries. Normal statement. Ich möchte Erdbeeren. Ich mag Erdbeeren. Okay, it's really general. But if you want to say, ich möchte Erdbeeren essen, it becomes really a wish at the moment you are expressing, I want to eat strawberries. If you remember it like that without focusing too much on it, it will be totally fine. And another aspect here, we have the verbs that are separable. I talk about it in a video prior. You can check it out. I think even 2 videos I made about it. Eva steigt jetzt ein. Eva enters now, enters a bus or a car or a train. We see immediately steigt ein. It's one verb, einsteigen. And if we change it, nothing else changes. We have really verb 1 here, verb 2 in infinitive form at the end. Eva muss jetzt einsteigen. And the infinitive is just one word here, einsteigen. You don't have to separate it whatsoever. In my opinion, the pro is again that you don't have to conjugate the second verb. The con, or the negative or harder aspect, is to realize when to use which helping verb. We talk about dürfen, müssen, wollen, and können, but I want to give you the full table here. So let's start with dürfen. Dürfen is used for permission. This is where we have the picture here of the doggy who's welcomed. He's allowed to enter. So being allowed, of course, asking for permission, giving permission, and in a negative sense, of course, to not allow something. Müssen, to must, you have to do something. Here we have Gebot, which means like a rule, an order, a higher order. And the second one is an urge to do something. In this case, the urge to go to the bathroom is, of course, something you must do, or else you will have an accident. Müssen, an urge or a rule. Können, one is the ability, Fähigkeit, but one is also the possibility to do something. You can also ask if something is possible. And I can give you an example so you can see how much it relies on context, what to use. For example, you knock on someone's door and you say, kann ich reinkommen? Can I enter? Or you can say, darf ich reinkommen? May I enter? This is such a fine difference. It's really not so important. But on the other hand, it is, because sometimes the difference is really fine, but sometimes it changes your whole sentence and your whole level of politeness, for example. And by the way, since I gave you this example, you can see a question. We have the helping verb in the beginning, like we have in normal questions without question word, then the subject, then we had object or other informations if there would be something. And then we have verb 2 in infinitive again. This is how you ask. The last one for today is wollen, to want. We talked about it before. It can mean to have the purpose to do something, or the plan, or you're willing to do something, Bereitschaft, to be willing, or to be planning to do something. And if you are a little child, wishing. We can also say, willst du morgen mitkommen? Do you want to join us tomorrow? So in this case, of course, it is like, do you have the purpose to come with us? Do you want that? Bereitschaft. Do you want to come with us? And then we can say, for example, ich will, aber ich kann nicht. What does it mean? It means I want, I'm ready to go. I really wish to go, but I cannot. I have not the possibility. Now we use können. Physically, I want, but for some reason, I cannot come. Okay, we will do one of those exercises today. There will be a second video, of course, next week. Let's try wollen first. You can try to build the sentence, and you will also see how it's used. The more you do, the more, of course, you understand. So let's try wollen. Wir wollen nicht mitkommen. We don't want to come. or come with you, depends on how you translate. Ihr wollt nicht früh aufstehen. You don't want to wake up or stand up early. Du willst Klaus nicht treffen. You don't want to meet Klaus. Ich will den Kuchen nicht essen. I don't want to eat the cake. Eva will kein Bier trinken. Eva doesn't want to drink beer. It makes sense, right? The sentences are not so hard, and we can see the verb here being always on the second position, and the second one here. I gave you again what it means: to want something, to be ready for something, to be willing, to wish for something sometimes. This is what it means. For example, if you would say, ich kann den Kuchen nicht essen, means I cannot eat the cake. Maybe you have allergies, maybe you ate already 3 pieces and you can physically not stomach it. This is context related. But even if you want it, you cannot eat it. This is it for today. We will continue part 2 next Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you next Sunday again. Thank you. Bye.